Do you remember the other week when we had that lesson about the flower? We talked about how the flower is just calling out, "Hey insects, over here, come get my special sweet juice." And so the insects make their way to the flower. Now, insects like bees go from flower to flower, and when they go from flower to flower, they collect that special dust, which we call pollen, and they carry that to other flowers. When the insect gets to the flower and gets some of that special juice from the pistil, it leaves behind some of that pollen before it goes off to the next flower. Now, when that pollen gets left behind, let's zoom in on the pistil. When the pollen gets left behind, one piece of that pollen, or some of that special dust, sticks to the stigma, that end of the pistil, and then works its way down the style all the way to the egg. When it does that, that cell from the pollen splits into two, and one of those cells stays with the egg and the other goes all the way up the style and creates a tube. And then once that cell meets the egg here, the pistil and the area around the egg will begin to swell with extra cells, creating a protective casing around it. Sometimes that's protective swelling becomes green and then yellow and might change in color over the time period that it grows, perhaps. But that swollen ovary here where the egg is, in the pistil of the flower, that's protecting the precious seeds that are inside the pistil. Now, those other parts of the flower, like the stamen, they usually just dry up and fall off, which you can actually see right here on an apple. If you zoom up closely, you can see the dried up stamen. And also, these little pieces right here, that's the dried up calyx. Some fruits, you can see all the seeds inside when you cut open, like a tomato. That swollen ovary is the fruit. So, but some, tomatoes are so tasty, animals will eat those. So in order to protect the seeds, some plants come up with very unique ways to protect their seeds. For example, a peanut. A peanut grows underground so that the animals can't get to it. And then there's, of course, pineapples. Pineapples are very, very prickly fruits, so it's hard to eat for animals. And that's how the plant protects those seeds and its fruit. And then think about even a coconut. Those are so hard for animals to get into. Only very few animals can actually get into a coconut and get to the seed. And that's what I wanted to tell you about today. Some of the different ways that plants protect their fruit, but also how fruits start with a flower, insects, and pollen.